Hey folks, Craig DeLuz here, Firearms Policy Coalition. We are at the Gun Rights Policy Conference. I want to introduce you to a young man who has a story. For those of you who think that the battle or the fight for Second Amendment civil rights is this, esoteric, philosophical thing, this is a young man right here, Marcus Weldon, who actually has, I'm going to let you go ahead and briefly tell your story so that our folks can understand what you had to go through.
Right. Well, back in 2014, December 21st, downtown Detroit, Michigan, I had to use my firearm to protect myself and the life of another. And long story short, it was a high-profile case. It went viral, especially down there in Detroit. It made New York Times. Mm-hmm. Called me the Sanders shooter, and I had to get $50,000 bond, so I had to get the money together, get me out. I was sitting in jail. Then I was put on tether, house arrest. Arduous process that lasted a year and a half on tether. Ended up beating it, with my jury of my peers to beat the case, and was exonerated. But the moral of the story I always tell people, it could have went the opposite direction. They told me, hey, take this 1 year in jail instead of 15 years in prison time. Mm-hmm. And they offered me that 3 times. It's bringing chills to me right now. I get emotional when I hear, talk about it, because that moment I had to make a decision that could have affected my rest of my life. Do I want to take a chance in front of a jury of my peers who may not necessarily, they may be anti-gun,
right?
And I could end up in jail, but I had to stick to my guns, literally, and say,
again, you'd stick to your guns again,
and say, no, I'm not going to take the plea. Mm-hmm. And I beat it. I beat the case. I was exonerated.
See, and that, I get people all the time who will say through social media, or who call me up and talk to me, and their whole thing is but it's a right, but it's not a right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how often does someone actually use their firearm to defend themselves? Well, bam.
Yeah.
Right here. And so it's not an esoteric thing, but the philosophical thing is this: you exercise not just your constitutional right to keep and bear arms, but your fundamental human right
exactly.
to defend yourself.
Exactly.
And then you had governmental entities that basically wanted to punish you for exercising your rights.
And our chief, Craig, of the Detroit Police Department, is actually a Second Amendment advocate. He said get armed. And it's at a constant beef with the prosecution, Kim Worthy, who was an anti-gun prosecutor. So, one thing I learned is that prosecutor misconduct is very, 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 it's another form of tyranny that a lot of people maybe don't necessarily look at as tyranny, but it is, because what they do, trumping up charges, forcing people to give in to plea deals, just to get numbers up, because we all know the more numbers, the more jails they fill. It's like a hotel.
Right.
So that's what I was up against.
Well, not just that, and they're it is not unheard of for prosecutors to, first of all, when it comes to quote unquote plea deals, a lot of times, a lot of these gun charges, they'll throw them out for the criminal. But when you're a law-abiding citizen who exercises their right, they want to throw the book at you.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and that's the thing that people look. I love law enforcement. Those of you who put your lives on the line every day, those of you who work in the criminal justice system to make sure the criminals get put away, I applaud you. But I also know that there are a number of folks who work in that community as well, who are anti-gun, who are anti-Second Amendment, who are anti-civil rights, and are very selective in their prosecution.
Right.
In that they'll throw it out for criminals, but you and I, law-abiding gun owners, oh no, they want to put us behind bars.
Right.
It's not so much that they want to put us behind bars. You know what they want to do? They want to take away our right
to
keep and bear arms, because they believe the law enforcement are the only ones that should have guns.
Yep, that's absolutely right. And there's a different, when you look at a young man who has a gun, the CPL, I tell a lot of people all the time in the urban area, we're automatically vilified, looked at as criminals, with the stereotype of black male. So having a black male with a gun shooting somebody, it was like that stereotype that floated in the air, like, well, where's this going? Was he another thug? And they try to paint that image. They try to paint that image like, oh, this guy here, he's a gunslinger, thug, he did. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm a concealed carry. I gotta have a clean record, that doesn't make sense.
Right.
But they try to still paint that image. But
Well, I want to say congratulations for standing up for yourself, and I also want to thank you for standing up for yourself, because law-abiding gun owners, not just law-abiding gun owners, but individuals need to know and understand the importance of not just standing up for civil rights in general, but also standing up for yourself and your individual rights. When you allow your individual rights to be tread upon, everybody's rights become in jeopardy. If folks want to kind of follow your story and stuff you don't understand, you got some exciting things going on. How can they find you?
Well, I have a social media page. You can tag me in Marcus Weldon, just my name. I also had a hashtag that was trending, hashtag I support Marcus Weldon, which was the hashtag I had going on when this case was going viral. So a lot of people are still going to the hashtag. I'm on my social media, pretty much when you go on my Facebook, all my other social media sites are tagged to it. And I'm actually in the process of getting a YouTube channel. So once I get that going, I'll attach that to it. So just follow me, MarcusWeldon. You can look the case up on Google. When you type it in, it pops right up. So a lot of my stuff is tagged to that too.
If you like these updates, please share them with your friends and subscribe to our YouTube channel.